Alright, what's good, Tubski? So I was about to go hit the gym right now, give y'all a little simple vlog like how I always do, but somebody asked me the other day, they were like, Miles, why do you train so hard? So with this video, I kind of really just want to go into depth about like why I train so hard, why I'm so passionate about the gym, about like changing, becoming a new and better person every day, consistency, and just all that in general, because even though I post my motivational content, my workout content, whatever that y'all fuck with, I want to be able to explain my story and like literally expose myself, be super authentic with y'all, and just talk about like everything I've been through, because I've been through some shit, and that's the reason why I train so hard. So I'm gonna have a one-on-one talk with y'all. We'll go to the gym probably later today, but I really want to go into depth with this because I know there's someone out there that's watching this video that is going to be able to relate to what I'm about to say and talk about. And I just want you to know that you're not alone and there's a way out of it. You know what I'm saying? So let's go into this. Let me get my chair. All right, man. So like I said, I'm just really going to like just speak my mind and kind of just start from the beginning. When I was younger, like a kid, I grew up a little bit chubby. I had like a chubby face. So like in school, I did get bullied because of that. I remember wearing a hoodie all the time. And even though I'm in Florida, it's hot all the fucking time. I would always wear a hoodie during my chubby stage in school because people would talk about my stomach and bully me about it. And then just getting towards like that middle school phase, just dealing with like little heartbreaks, the smaller heartbreaks, not like anything serious, but just dealing with girls for the first time. That was mentally hard too, on top of the bullying. And when I got to middle school, I kind of slimmed down. I was around like 140, 150 pounds, so I had a smaller build. So I didn't really get bullied because of my body when I got to middle school, but it was just more of still thinking about the past from like elementary school getting bullied. And then just all the way up until like high school and everything, my parents got divorced when I was like 13 or 14. And then I lost my grandma too around that time, which really fucking sucked. And I really don't have a big family to begin with. Like I got a couple uncles, aunts, whatever, but like I'm really not close with any of them. And sometimes I really wish I had a big family like that, because looking around and seeing all the big families, it really does hurt, bro. Not to say that I'm not grateful that I have my mom, because I love her to death, but I know some of y'all get what I'm saying. Just the fact of like being alone. On top of that, in high school was when I really started getting like really bad mental anxiety, just regular anxiety in general. I had a really bad like depression stage a couple times actually, even like past high school. And then I had like my first real couple heartbreaks, which that was probably the worst pain I've ever had. And really, I just grew up like having a lot of like mental issues, and I really, my fault, y'all, the damn camera died, but I just grew up having a lot of mental issues. And, and it got to a point where like a couple times throughout my life, I've even tried and thought about committing suicide. The worst time was probably around like a year and a half ago today. And my mom found out about it because my friend told her. And even though I was pissed off at my friend at the time, obviously I didn't want her to know that. But that was probably like one of the worst feelings ever, was having my mom come home and be like, don't do it. And yeah, that was probably one of the worst. But where I'm trying to get to is that I've been through a lot of mental shit. And the reason why I train so hard is because I'm always thinking about that shit. Not in a bad way of like, just thinking about the past, because that's not something you should do. But I always talk to people about using your pain as fuel, right? A lot of people stay stagnant in their life and they never elevate, they never get better, they never get into the gym, they never try this, try that, because they don't have something that's pushing them. You have to understand that, like, obviously during the moment, it's going to feel like it's impossible to get out of that bubble you're in. And it's just going to feel impossible, especially when you have depression or really bad mental, anxiety, whatever. But it's the best thing ever. Like, after I got out of it and realized, I now have that anger inside of me. I now have that fuel inside of me to use towards getting better. And that first step for me was getting into the gym. Like, when I first got into the gym, my junior year of high school, like that was kind of during my depression phase. And just like being able to just take all the pain and anger and everything out on the weights instead of drugs, instead of drinking and using that as an escape, instead of, going out and having sex with multiple women as an escape, I always have used the gym as an escape. And it sucks too, because I even had a friend when I first started in the gym too, and I knew he was going through a lot of shit too, and I tried to get him in the gym with me. And I remember we even suggested starting like our own like funny YouTube channel, like fitness vlogs and shit back then around COVID times. But I knew he was going through a lot of shit back then, and I tried doing everything I could to bring him in the gym and really have him use that as his getaway. And sadly, he took another route, and he's been in and out of jail multiple times now, dealing drugs and all this other bad shit. And I just don't want y'all to go there, because we're not perfect, and there's no such thing as perfect at the end of the day. And all of us are going through something right now or have been through something bad. And I don't want any of y'all to ever resort to using drugs, alcohol, or women as a getaway. And that's just not the way to go about life. Use the gym, bro. Use the gym. On top of just being in the gym and letting out all that pain and emotions out on the weight, you get all these other aspects of bettering yourself from the gym, bro. Like, when I first started, bro, I was 150 pounds. I'm 195 pounds lean now. Like, I never thought I would get here today, but because I used that as a getaway and because all these years I still showed up for myself, I still, was being consistent, and I just showed up and started my fitness journey knowing that I wasn't going to have this perfect time. Because I do feel like a lot of us get caught up in, like, wanting the perfect scenario, the perfect time to start. You can't think like that. Like, honestly, you can't think like that because there never will be. And you guys hear me talk about it in my content a lot. You just have to start, bro. And just over the years, every time I've been through something, whether it was another heartbreak or just me going through something in life, the gym was always there for me, bro. So just being able to be so consistent with that shit and still showing up on the days where I just felt so depressed and just like was mentally fucked up, and I still showed up for myself. Now I'm here, bro. And it's like, not to say that I'm not going through shit right now, because of course I am. That's going to be life. But like, I have learned so much from being in the gym and using that as my escape. Like, the consistency I built for myself, not just being in the gym, but now I can apply that to all other areas of my life to elevate. The discipline I've learned of showing up, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I was going through that heartbreak a day after I got my heart broke, even when shit was not going my way, the gym was always there for me, bro. Learning delayed gratification, not expecting results overnight and just showing up for myself every day, knowing that I was going to build my physique and change my identity as a person. And I knew that years later down the line that I would be a whole new person, and I am now. Learning how to push through failures, learning how to train hard. Like, there's so much different qualities you get from learning in the gym, and it's completely changed my life, not just physically, but just in every single aspect possible, bro. And it's so crazy just looking back and knowing that I just started back then. Like, I didn't care about the perfect time. I was just like, fuck it, let's go. And over the years too, like, just like me being able to inspire you watching this, or like just so much people in general, bro. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to start this shit too, is because like I knew I was going through so much shit back then. And I also knew that if I started, someone will be looking up to me and watching me as inspiration. And I've been able to help so much people over the last 5-6 years of my fitness and gym and content journey in general, bro. And I'm just so blessed because I know how low I was back then, and being able to, get somebody out of that situation too, like, that's the best feeling ever, bro. And just in the past couple years, bro, not just like with heartbreaks and mental issues, but bouncing from job to job, trying to figure out life, like, I know someone can relate to that, and just know there's a way out of it, bro, but you just have to start. And especially like the bigger transformations too, right? Like Quincy, who I used to go to school with, he's down 50 pounds working with me because he trusted me. He saw me in high school. He saw me through my bad phase, and he wanted to work with me because he saw that it was possible, especially coming from someone like him who grew up around me. And it's just like, that's the best feeling ever, bro. Just being able to transform lives too on top of your own, because someone's watching you, bro. When you start your fitness journey, you never realize it, but someone's using you as motivation, bro. Truly. You guys hear me talking about that all the time. And on top of just Quincy, bro, like Jordan, who lost 50 pounds working with me. I got Tristan, who lost over 20, 30 pounds. Dwell, who lost over 20, 30 pounds. I got Malik, who really got one of my like early fitness programs, like when I first started. But even back then, he's down like 60, 70 pounds, completely transformed who he was as a person, not just physically, but mentally. And I've just been able to help so much people throughout my fitness journey along with myself. And that's the best part of it, bro, because again, you never know who's watching you, bro. You just have to start, bro. And on top of just like being consistent and showing up, right? Like, obviously, like going actually into fitness, like there is certain things that you can do to better yourself and better your progress, right? Because it's one thing to be consistent and to keep showing up, but if you're really trying to take it to like that next level and really get the best progress out of your fitness journey or whatever, it's really just about forming new habits, becoming a better version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, like, you can keep showing up, right? You can keep being consistent, but at the end of the day, if you're not getting any progress, especially from being in the gym and trying all these different diets that haven't worked for you in the past, eventually you're going to give up. But you have to have the right system in place to actually keep on showing up and keep being consistent. It's not just, you know, show up. You got to have the right systems in place, bro. And like with me too, when I first started, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. That's what I was talking about earlier, bro. Like, you can't wait for a perfect time. You just have to start. Nobody knows what they're doing at first. You just start, bro. And over the years, like, I built up so much knowledge about this shit too, which is like a cool thing too. Like when I first started, bro, I was doing so many exercises. I was in there for hours a day. You do not need to do that much, bro. I'm only in the gym and my clients for 3 to 5 days a week. When you have 2 to 3 rest days a week, you're able to prioritize your recovery so much better. And that means you get progress a lot faster. Because some people, they do too much exercises. They're in the gym for too long and they get burnt out or they get plateaued and stuck. They stop getting progress and then they just stop showing up. So you got to be smart about it. On top of that too, like with me personally, like I only do like 8 to 10 sets per week per muscle group. So do my clients. I only do 2 sets per exercise. One big thing I didn't know too, if you're watching this, I'm gonna put you on game too. If you go like really high in reps, like if you're doing 15, 20 reps on your exercises, you're gonna cause a lot more soreness and fatigue. And with those two in play, it makes it 20 times harder to recover too. So if you can keep your rep scheme from like 5 to 10 reps with everything with 2 sets, that is literally the cheat code to getting in and out of the gym and also getting the best progress while recovering better too. Especially if you're on the older side, like watching this video, bro, like I probably know you don't have time. You got kids, wife, responsibility, bills to pay for, right? A busy job. If you can take a lower volume approach, which is what I just talked about and what I give my clients too that have seen amazing progress, that's literally the best way to go about it for everybody. And then obviously like nutrition is a big part too, right? Like you don't have to eat like a bodybuilder and have fucking chicken and rice every single meal, but you should still be eating 70 to 80% clean for most of the week. Like you can still go out and have fun on the weekends, because I do too, but you have to make sure like at least during the weekdays you're locked in fully on your diet. And really to not make it boring too, like give yourself options, bro. Like you don't have to eat the same thing every day if you don't want to. And that's the same thing I get for my clients too. Like when I give my clients their meal plans, like I have the macros listed out, the protein intake, instructions on how to make it, but I also give them options because I'm the same way. I don't eat the same exact shit every day. I like to switch it up. It keeps things fun and it allows you to actually keep going with your progress and keep showing up and keep being consistent with the diet. Like for example, like I literally give them 4 options per meal. So like for breakfast, if you usually eat eggs, I'll have like 3 to 4 different egg variations if you want, like hard boiled, fried, whatever. If you want to have a little Greek yogurt fruit smoothie, I'll have that included. And I also give them like a whole supplement list, a vitamin and supplement guide. And these are the little things that you don't pay attention to, like on the organs, and just like all the things happening like inside of your bodies that will make a really big difference too. But where I'm trying to get to is that like without all these little things in place, showing up over time is only going to burn you out, especially if you're not getting the progress you want. I'm just being real with you. And the biggest thing I see people doing wrong once they're actually showing up for themselves and actually starting to get that momentum built up is they're doing a bunch of random exercises. They're doing different shit every week. If you truly want the best progress, like to gain muscle and to get stronger, lose fat, whatever, stick to the same exercises week by week and focus on progressive overload and training hard with overall good form. That is the best way and really the only way you're actually going to get progress with your physique and actually build that shit up. And what do I mean by this? So progressive overload, let's just say I'm doing like easy bar curls, right? You know, simple, whatever. Let's say I'm using 30 pounds and I want to have like a target of like 10 reps, right? By the time I get to that 10th rep, I should be damn near like failing or almost failing by that 10th rep. If I'm still being able to easily curl it by that 10th rep, you want to up the weight, right? So by that 10th rep, if I do fail that 10th rep, the next week or two, when I do that same exercise again, I'm going to try to get 11 reps, then 12 reps. Then usually when I hit around 12 reps on an exercise, I'll up the weight by 5 to 10 pounds, depending on what it is. And then I'll restart at like 5 or 6 reps again. That's how you do progressive overload. You're able to see in real time, okay, I'm actually getting stronger and I'm actually putting on muscle. Because again, it's one thing to show up every day for yourself and to actually get on a good routine. But if you're not getting the progress you want, you're not going to be able to stay consistent with that shit. And it's so cool too, because with my clients too as well, like they have a whole workout app that they get to have. And it also has a group chat in it for like full accountability. We talk all the time, day to day for my clients too. So accountability isn't even a factor. But in the app, it's so cool. They have videos of all the exercises. They have form instructions. They have what the exercise targets, so they know exactly what they're doing. They have a full game plan. And they even have a little section too where they can track their own weights and they can focus on progressive overload, and they know and see in real time I'm making progress day by day or week by week, which is pretty cool. But like I said, bro, like at the end of the day, like just show up for yourself. But it'll get to a point where over time, just showing up is not enough, and you have to keep on putting in the work, and you have to have the right systems in place. So if you feel like you're in a position right now where you were like me and maybe you're going through a really bad heartbreak, you're just really dealing with life right now, maybe mental issues, a family member just recently died, just any of those things, if you're just having a hard time with life right now, get in the gym, bro. It will change everything for you. It'll change who you are as a person, your mindset, and that will transfer to all other areas of your life, bro. I'm telling you, without the gym, I honestly don't know where I'd be right now. Like, dead ass. I would not know where I'd be right now. It has saved my life multiple times. It has changed me as a person and has formed better habits for me and just changed me in every single way that you can think of for the better. So if you're interested, bro, and you want to get there, but you keep getting stuck, or maybe you're at that stage right now where you are kind of showing up for yourself, but it's just like you're not seeing the progress, and then now it's like really getting hard to like stay on task and stay focused because you're like, okay, I'm putting in the work every day, I'm showing up, but why am I not getting the results I want? If that's something that you're kind of struggling with right now, what I want you to do is DM me the word train down below on my Instagram. We're going to have a one-on-one convo. We're going to go over your goals, what you're struggling with right now, and get to the bottom of it. Because again, it's one thing to show up every day and be consistent, but over time, it's going to get to a point where you're going to get stuck and it's just going to be annoying. You're going to keep getting in the same cycles. So if you feel like you're in that position right now and you're interested in what I just talked about with all the clients, completely changing their physiques, completely changing their lives, getting rid of their bad habits, dropping in fat, getting their dream physique, they have access to the app, the sets and reps in the app, the progressive overload section, the group chat in the app with all the other clients for accountability. We do weekly check-ins for me and you. If that sounds like something you're interested in, click the link below. Let's go over your goals. Let's talk about it. But if there's one thing I want you to get from this video is just keep going. That's my motto, bro. That's truly how it's been over the last 4 or 5 years. A lot of people ask me like, oh, what's the cheat code, bro? How do you get a physique like that? How do you get a mindset like... There's no cheat code, bro. It's literally just consistency. And I'm sure you guys hear that shit all the time, but that's literally what it is. If you can show up for yourself and actually have the right systems in place and keep making progress week by week, that's going to build up so much momentum, and it's going to change you as a person and level you up before you even realize it and know it. So don't wait for the perfect time. Start now. Get locked in. If you're interested, hit the link below. We'll have a one-on-one chat. I hope y'all have a great day, man, and just keep showing up for yourself, bro. Keep going.